Have you ever seen a meme have this much effect over the internet this quickly? I can't say that I have. I've been watching the internet for some time now, and I've never seen a meme have this effect this quickly over this much of the internet at one time. It's been quite phenomenal to see. And of all of the good things to come out of this non-player character or NPC meme, probably my favorite is the fact that it's led people to discuss with other people what it is that they think, and more importantly, why they think that way. It's getting people to explore, how does my mind work? How does your mind work? Why do you think what you think? Have you reconsidered that opinion? Where did you get that information? How often do you double check that information? When was the last time that you realized that you were wrong about something, and then instead of trying to keep arguing your position, said, you know what? I might be wrong about that. Maybe I haven't got the information I thought I had. It seems to be encouraging these kinds of conversations, and in fact, there's a podcast that I'll link to in just a moment where that is exactly what the participants seem to be doing. They seem to be saying to each other, well, you know what? If we're going to mock the NPCs or the people who act like NPCs, why don't we explore not just what we believe, but why we believe it? How often do we revisit or challenge these preconceived notions in our own mind? So I'll link to that in a moment, but before I do, I saw this on the New York Post. Twitter suspends accounts for coordinated far-right trolling campaign. October 18, 2018. A meme campaign designed to troll liberals as non-player characters, a term borrowed from video game lingo, prompted Twitter to suspend roughly 1,500 accounts for engaging in coordinated platform manipulation, company officials said. The non-player character, or NPC meme, mocks Trump critics as brainless drones who can't think for themselves. The term originally referred to a video game persona that's controlled by artificial intelligence, much like the game's supporting cast or extras who toil in virtual anonymity as the protagonist works toward his or her main objective. And you guys would have seen these news stories over the past few days. This NPC meme has reached not just Twitter and other social media platforms, including YouTube, but it's reached the mainstream media and shows no signs whatsoever of slowing down. And probably the thing about it that I like the most is how it is encouraging people to think to themselves and to discuss with others, well, how do I think? How do you think? When you have an opinion, how much time do you spend looking for evidence to support or contradict that opinion? Do you make a habit of checking your references and checking your sources? Are you willing to admit when you're wrong? Do you like being shown that you're wrong? Do you see the advantage of someone showing you, hey, that belief that you thought that you had? I used to believe that too, but then I found there was no evidence to support it. And it seems to be stimulating this kind of conversation among people all over the internet. And in fact, there's a podcast that I'll link to in the info box below where that is exactly what myself and several other people do. We discuss this NPC meme, and nobody on the panel is pro-Trump or pro-Hillary. None of us even vote, as far as I'm aware. We are not partisan in that sense. We're watching this NPC meme take hold over the internet, and we're looking at the pros and the cons of it. And what it led me to do, and some people on the panel as well, as you'll hear for yourself, is to think through this idea of, well, if all of these people are so wrong about so many things, and it's because these ideas have been put into their heads, and they have no capacity for self-reflection, they don't even appear to have anything approaching an internal monologue, they just parrot what they're told, then it's incumbent on us to revisit what we think we know about so many topics. So let's do exactly that. And I think this is the best thing about this NPC meme, is that some people, not all people, but some people seem to be using it as a basis to reevaluate their own belief systems. So rather than just mock the lemmings, and Lord knows there's many of them out there, the majority of people, complete lemmings, rather than mock them with the NPC meme, they're thinking, well, hold on, how do I know what I think I know? Am I willing to revisit what I think I know? You might be wondering why that particular podcast is called Rainbow Patriots. The reason is that we also discuss a couple of other topics. We discuss The Wizard of Oz and some of the esoteric or occult elements of The Wizard of Oz that nobody seems to know. And I'm not talking about the whole, oh, Oz is meant to represent the gold standard and all this kind of crap. No, I'm talking about something very different to that. Nobody seems to know who L. Frank Baum really was, even though it's been written about decades ago. It's not really a secret, but no one in the whole so-called alternative research scene ever talks about this stuff. Which is why when I discovered it by reading a biography about Baum, I was like, I want to go and see if this is confirmed elsewhere. And so I got my hands on a couple of other books, and sure enough, it's there. But I've never heard anybody in the alternative so-called research realm ever talk about it, which confirms my suspicion that no one here actually reads books. That's my suspicion, is people buy books and they might flip through the first few pages, but they don't actually read the books. I'm starting to suspect that's most people. And in fact, if you haven't read a single book this year, then yeah, I'm pretty confident you're an NPC. That's just a fact of the matter. Because people don't have very good attention spans these days. They're so distracted that you have to give them information in bite-sized chunks. And that's another thing too. This podcast is like an hour long, so if you have a poor attention span, it's probably not for you. But anyway, yeah, so we talk about The Wizard of Oz and the relationship between that film, the fact that it used to be an annual special, and it was used to introduce colour TV to America over the space of literally decades. And we talk about all that kind of stuff. And we also talk about nationalism, which is why I've got patriots there. We talk about nationalism and this idea that, well, maybe nationalism is good for us, maybe it's not. Can we dispassionately assess both sides of the argument? Can we look at the programming that we received when we were younger about nationalism? Are we able to undo that programming? Should we undo that programming? Those are the kinds of questions that we address. So it was a terrific chat. And like I said, you can access that call. Link in the info box below. So that'll do us for today on the 19th of October 2018. Check the link in the info box below. And tell me in the comments, have you seen this? Have you seen more people thinking about their own thinking? Not just mocking the dumbass liberals, not just mocking the dumbass cultural Marxists and the other lemmings who we've all known for a long time are lemmings. I mean, are people using this as like a yardstick to reconsider, well, hold on, how much of my own programming have I been able to revisit? Let me know in the comments below, but until next time, you guys take care of yourselves.